Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for this meditation, Pisces new moon. And I saw a couple of things in the chat, and I also want to address to those, as these are one of those principles that I have, and that is that you are welcome to join the meditation as you are and wherever you are, and just listening to your own resources, listening to your own capacity to join and to be here. And the great thing about embodied meditation is that you can always regulate yourself with and through your body. So there's no need to perform or push through anything here while we're in this shared space together. And so you can just relax into it. And thank you for joining me. And today is a theme that is a very deep one. It is a very deep revelation that is promised with the archetype of Pisces in the esoteric astrology. In the full moon meditation, we covered the three keynotes of Pisces, and that is bondage or captivity, renunciation or detachment, and sacrifice and death. Where we are not so much going to go into those anymore in this meditation, but we are rather continuing from those three keynotes. The keynotes that were explored in the full moon meditation are based on the work of Alice Bailey, and what we're exploring today is based on the work of Bruce Lyon. And the same thing or the same keynotes can or are developed into different things. And so when we are developed enough as a soul, also when we have developed that consciousness as a soul by coming into the form, descending and leaving the father's home, and then rising and leaving the mother's home, and forming this jewel, forming this diamond of consciousness of the soul, there comes a stage, another stage in the development of the soul and the spiritual path. And that is that this bondage that comes from both descending into matter, and that is the bondage of the soul into matter, and then rising, and that meaning that the bondage is now from the personality's point of view, being bonded and captivated into the soul. There's another layer to it after that. There's what is called monadic striving, and that is that when this consciousness is developed as a soul, this soul offers all of its accumulated possessions, accumulated soul wisdom, accumulated beauty, and all the goodness and love that the soul is. And the soul willingly offers all that in the service of the unknown but emerging center. And that center is the monadic core, the spirit core, at the center of everything. And this, what Bruce Lyon is calling in his book, is being the supply. So we are surrendering, we are offering ourselves, we are offering our souls as the vehicles of supply. Now then, The other keynote in the work of Alice Bailey is renunciation or detachment. These do not exactly correlate, but how I see it is that when we detach from both knowing ourselves as the monadic core where we are born from, and we descend into the matter and learn to know ourselves as matter, we then detach from that, and we detach from our identity of knowing ourselves as a personality, and we then at this point also detach. When the consciousness is developed, we detach from the identity of the soul. We cease to know ourselves as the soul, but rather we shift our consciousness, we shift our identity to monadic radiation. And that is the inner recognition of those other selves with whom one is joined in life. So this is our monadic ashram. And this monadic ashram is vitalizing and stimulating the life aspects, the electric current amongst the group that we are part of. And this results in world service in Aquarius. But what is, and the monadic striving, that when we offer ourselves and when we are being the supply, we are initiating ourselves in Capricorn. But what is the initiation in Pisces is that, and I now quote from Bruce's book, that monadic surrender is the group intensification of the life principle through greater and greater revelation of its universal nature. This is achieved by being willing to be entered and empowered by the life of those entities, such as, for example, the avatar of synthesis, capable of containing and transmitting greater levels of life force. It is also achieved by being willing to enter, consecrate, and empower via the life aspect lower kingdoms within the one life. So this means that we surrender our personal will, we surrender our soul will to the monadic life, to the monadic will. And we do it with our free will. And we, in that process, we become a vehicle. We allow the life force, the monadic energy, to enter us, and we are transmitting that. But it doesn't only mean that we are the receivers. That's not the end result of this process, but rather the whole point is that as the vessels, we let that energy flow through us and circulate to wherever it is needed, whether it is needed in the other human beings, in the animal kingdom, in the plant kingdom, or in the mineral kingdom. And so it also means that we enter into those beings that are so what are in the teachings are called the lower kingdoms. And so whenever we are spending time in the nature, taking a walk in the woods, or having some time with our pets, or meeting some other animals, birds, whatever animals you can find in the forest, it is our task to be the supply of that monadic energy for those kingdoms to be nourished by. And then not everybody received the newsletter that I sent out, but what the Pisces is also about is that when we tune into, I mean, it's very easy to tune into the, well, not, okay, this is also very relative and subjective. I've heard people having difficulties in attuning to the cycles of nature or cycles of their own body, for example, and that's totally fine. Me living in Finland, it's very easy for me to notice the different seasons in the nature. So spring, summer, autumn, and winter, because it's just so obvious here. And it's very easy for me to tune into that cycle, into that rhythm of nature. And I understand that if it's not the case in everywhere, I mean, everywhere in the world. But when you tune into the cycles of the nature and the rhythms of the nature, and you can use your own body to do that through your own heartbeat, through your own breathing, that there is a singular heartbeat at the core of everything in the nature. There is a natural cycle of inhale and exhale permeating all that is and everything that is. And we are not separate from that. And this breathing or heartbeat that we experience is the breath of the one life. This is the one life, and it is the self. And as Bruce writes in his book, is that the self is this cosmic Shamballa center is radiating its peaceful, silent well and transmitting its profound realization of the one universal self without particular reference or regard to our little cycles. And so that one life is there whether we or not we notice it or not. And whether or not we notice it and or tune into it, it is basically our responsibility to tune into that. It is our misunderstanding that has created the separation. And the beauty of this work is that we can do that through self-realization. And self-realization, it does not mean or does not refer to personal development as such. It's not about getting bigger and bigger bank account numbers or getting more and more employees or getting more and more this and that. It's about realizing that you as an individual are inherently divine and that at the core of your being, you are inseparable from the core of everything. And this means that we are connected. All of us are connected through our core. And not just as human beings, but everything, this planet, everything in this universe is inseparably connected. And this is a process of course, when we realize ourselves. It's like peeling an onion, but what is helping in this process is the monadic energy. That is the synthetic power that is catalyzing the processes of the personality and the soul in their journey to fuse in their journey to find their union. And it is the whole culmination of the archetype of Pisces that this union between the personality and soul is consummated. Realizing that the personality and the soul actually have both of them. Both of them have the one life at the core of them. But it is also on a bigger scale, on the monadic level. It is the realization that matter and spirit are one. And in this breathing process, in this attuning to the universal breathing, it's not something, well, okay, we can physically breathe in and out, inhale and exhale, but how that also expresses itself is through these waves of action and withdrawal, actual action and inaction. This means that when the soul is exhaling, it is flourishing in its expression on the physical plane, meaning in the concrete world here. And it is doing that through the personality. So through the mind, through the feelings and the physical body, the soul is creating a world around them that is in service of the greater whole. And the soul is then shining, it is creating and sustaining its existence. So it is creating these structures also to sustain it. And when the soul is inhaling, this creative process is put on a pause, maybe. The soul turns in its awareness. So basically, because soul is consciousness and soul is awareness itself, it turns itself towards the center of its own being for restoration, for rejuvenation, and for a demand from our life from the Cosmic Shamballa center. And so in this culture that we live in that is demanding more and more action, demanding more and more constant performance and constant creation, constant growth, it's not actually natural. What is natural is that we exhale and we create, and then we need to take a breather in, and we retrieve, and we retreat, and we withdraw, and we restore, and then we bring another wave of creation in. And this is how we connect to the one life that sustains us. And what else we're going to cover today and explore today in an embodied way is the father and mother aspect of this archetype. Pisces represents the duality between the father and mother archetypes, or the aspects, not archetypes, excuse me, aspects and principles. And that is that the esoteric ruler of Pisces is Pluto, and Pluto is a planet that is associated with the base. And Pluto is the planet that brings in the energy of will and power and destruction. And so it helps us to shed anything that is not serving life. On the other hand, it is an energy that is descending. So it is descending to the base. So it's not already in the base, but it's rather bringing in this descending energy of the father aspect. The cosmic spirit is descending into the matter. And on the other hand, the esoteric ruler of Virgo is the moon, veiling Vulcan. And this planet and is associated with the crown. And it represents the mother aspect and the matter aspect. And here, this matter arises. The moon, in the teachings, the moon is represented to, or depicted to represent the slumbering entities in our bodies, in our being, those that need to be lifted up to marry the sun, the soul. And in this process, Pisces offers exactly that opportunity, this energy to support that. And so when we realize that the matter, the personality, and then the spirit, the soul, they are one, this burns out the webs that is concealing this. It burns out all the illusions covering this, and it liberates what is called light supernal. And that light supernal is a sevenfold synthetic light. It contains all the soul rays, it contains all the light, all the expressions of life in one ray of light. And this is something that we are going to explore today and see if we can access all these things in our own being. Just to help me today, and in general in these meditations, I invite you to, if it's possible for you, to turn on your camera so that I can see you and see where you're at, and also connect also visually to our shared space together. And we continue start our guided journey together. And at the end, we'll have time for sharings for anything that wants to be witnessed or anything that needs to be shared. Are there any questions at this point? I wonder, is there anything you are curious about, or is there anything that is burning before we start? Not at the moment. Okay. As we are also exploring our matter, our body, and as always with the embodied meditation with me, I invite you to listen to your body first. Respect your body, respect your body's impulses. And this means that whatever your body is trying to tell you through movement or okay, something happened. Is somebody sharing a whiteboard? Okay, thank you. So allowing those impulses to guide you, so there's no need to somehow tone those impulses down or to ignore those impulses, but rather I invite you to follow them. I invite you to see what information your body gives you through your impulses, whether that be to move your hand somehow, or move your head, or shake, or scream, even if that is the case for you today. And see and witness what happens. See what potential messages you may receive through your body and from your body. And as we begin, I invite you to find a space in the space, or a place in the space that you're in, that is most comfortable or as comfortable and safe for you to be in as is possible for you today. And also, so safety and comfy, safe and comfy feeling, find it for yourself at any time and space of this meditation together. Just make sure that you stay alert enough to stay awake. So that's the only thing. Mm. And as we begin, tune into our, well, yeah, let's begin. Let's tune into your own, just tune into your own space first. So if there is anything in your own body that your body needs right now, then just acknowledge that need. And if it is something that it can be accommodated right now, then just do that. Whether that be to have a drink of water, or a blanket over yourself, or something like that. And just see how you are feeling today. What's the mood? What's the ambience? What's the atmosphere of your physical body today? What are the physical sensations that you can notice? Uh, you can just notice what's happening in your body right now. Notice any emotions that may be present in your experience. And if there are any emotions, then just let them flow. Let them move your body if necessary, so that they can release themselves and not get stagnant in your body. And then also notice your thoughts. Notice the loops and the stories that are on in your mind. There's no need to get rid of them or quiet them in any way, because they are there for a reason. So just embrace them, notice them, but you don't need to identify with them. So see if there's a way for you to find more space between your thoughts and your awareness, your consciousness. And as you become aware of what is happening in different layers of your being, then notice also your energetic fields, your chakras, your etheric body. And it also depends on your sensitivity, if you can sense them or not. There's no need to imagine anything, and certainly there's nothing wrong if you can't sense anything. That's totally fine. No need to frustrate yourself over that. Just notice where you are at with your relationship with your etheric bodies. That's enough. And from this space, broaden your awareness to the shared space together, to the group field, to the group soul that we are all part of. Whether we are aware of it or not, but as we have come together, we have already formed a shared field together, and just see what becomes available for you from our field together, from our space together. Let yourself sink even deeper into the surface that you're on, letting go of any unnecessary tensions or holdings in your different bodies, different layers, whether that be physical or emotional, mental, or even etheric. As we attune to ourselves and to others, see what resistance comes up and just face that, embrace that, let it flow, let it be felt without judgment, without being analyzed, and then letting it go. Accepting that it is there, and then committing to your journey anyway. Allow your awareness come to your heartbeat, to sense your heartbeat, to bring your awareness to your heart. And see if you can feel your heart beating, the physical heart beating in your body. See how it is like today. What kind of a rhythm do you have in your heart? And how is your heartbeat influencing the rest of your body? There's no right or wrong with this one, just what is in your experience today. How is the beat of your heart drumming its notes into the rest of your being? What is it? What is the influence of it? See also if you can sense the heartbeat reaching your crown and your base. And if your heartbeat can reach those centers, are those centers, the base and the crown, beating with the same rhythm, with the same tempo, or is there a different rhythm? Just be curious. And if there is a different rhythm, different than your own heartbeat, notice what it brings up in you. And see if you can find a place where you can still rest in your own heart. Again, I invite you to expand a little more. While you rest in your heart, start to see if you can sense the group heart of our shared space. And how that is in your experience. While you still rest in yours. Even further when you expand into the planetary heart, the heart of this earth, your heart being an extension of it, a part of it. What do you notice in the connection of that heartbeat between yours and the earth's? Then I invite you to sense the heartbeat of the cosmos. The Shambhala center, the one life, permeating all life in the universe. And from there, expand even further and start to sense, in addition to the heartbeat of the cosmos, the heartbeat of the Shambhala center, the breathing. Sense the breathing of that one life. A breath that is going in and out throughout the universe. As you sense that breathing and that cosmic heartbeat, let that descend into the earth, this planet. As you sense that descending the cosmic center of Shambhala through a heartbeat and an exhale or inhale, depending on your experience. Can you sense how the planet Earth is responding? Is it bringing in more life or breathing in more life to Earth itself or something else? What happens to the heartbeat of the planet and the breathing of the planet? And how is the cosmic breathing and heartbeat affecting this group heart, and the breathing as one group? Allowing it to affect and influence your individual heart, your individual breathing, and see what happens. As you become more aware of your own heartbeat and the connection between your heart and your breathing, to the group, to the planet, to the cosmos. And start to clarify the consciousness that is present in your experience at this moment. Offer up all the gifts, all the wisdom, all the beauty, but also those things that are still unresolved, and put them on the altar of this imaginary altar as an offering to the one life, to the father aspect of this spirit, and make a demand. Make a demand for more life and give your consent to be the supply, to be entered into. And to be entered into by this cosmic Shambhala energy. See if anything wants to be released in the layers of your physical manifestation. That is the physical body, or the emotions, or the thoughts, or the etheric body. And if so, let it dynamically shake and release, or otherwise move through you and feel that one life. And as you make that demand, see if you can sense that stillness, that peaceful silence descend. Descend into our shared field. And then to your own chakra system and your being, down into your base. As that cosmic Shambhala energy is descending, notice if it is activating anything in your matter, in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your body, in your chakra system. And let that rise, let that ascend through your chakra, through your chakra system, and through your crown, particularly, and into your crown. as the destructive energy of Pluto descends with the father aspects, it brings in the mantra, I am nothing. I am nothing. And as the core of matter is activated, and your matter is responding, the mantra of matter is I arise as everything. I arise as everything. And see how these energies are flowing in your system, if there are any blockages, or if they can actually run freely and smoothly in your system between your base and your crown. And then bring those energies into your heart. Mixing them together. You can use the mantra here. I am the love before, between, and birth through everything and nothing. I am the love before, between, and birthed through everything and nothing. And see what is revealed. Then connect this energy to the life thread, Sutratma in your heart, and to the Antakarana, and let this energy actively vibrate in the spinal column, up the spine, and let it actively vibrate in your being, in your center. And then take a harvest of this meditation. What is it that possibly was revealed to you at any point? And what is the seed that you're going to plant for yourself and for this world on this new moon? And if you brought a new moon offering with you, you can activate that offering with the seed and later plant it in the land. If there's anything that your body needs right now, then let it have its needs met. And find a conclusion for yourself that is most suitable with your body's needs. Completion of this journey. You can stretch or you can inhale and exhale deeply. You can sound or sing, move, or whatever else your body is asking of you. And when you're ready, I invite you back to our shared space on the screen. And we have a few minutes to share if there is anything that needs to be shared or witnessed. And for those who are new to these meditations, just know that this video is only on my face and your videos won't be seen in the recording. However, if you choose to share, just unmute yourself and know that the voice will be recorded and also shared. But if there's something that you want to share, you can also share in the chat and I'll read it out loud. And I welcome any shares, as these are the gold nuggets that we as a group get to bring together as a group being. And we can Yeah, we can bring in what is our peace to know and ground at this time. I thank you for joining me today. I appreciate that. Go ahead if there's anything.
Hi.
Hi. Good to see
Eh,
you.
Good to see you. Good to see everybody. It's my first time in this circle, and I'm so glad that I found you all. I'm thankful. Um, I just want to say thank you, and this is much needed by my body, by my mind, by my heart. Thank you. Your voice, first of all, is so calming. Thank you. Yeah, and I feel like for a while now, I've been running around, and so this session helped me come back to the ground, come back to earth, and be reminded that everybody's a mirror of me, no matter what. And I got goosebumps while you were guiding us all over. I'm not yet able to see or receive any other messages apart from what I need to do on my website. But it's a beautiful thing. Like I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I need to do on my website. Okay, okay, got it. But apart from that, my body, my mind, my heart is so thankful. So thankful for you, your guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all that. I'm just really happy how that you were so open to receive that guidance whenever I was there. And yes, it can be as concrete as knowing what to do with the website. And that's the now you're exhaling when you're creating that. So that's beautiful. Amazing. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I'm also happy to share something. It's so interesting because it really was already in my heart before Jean, is your name Jean? Okay, I'm sorry. Before she started to share, I was like, I will definitely also just give thanks. I mean, it was so interesting because so it poured out of her, and I feel like this is exactly what my heart also wanted to sort of share with the space today. Is you, Riser, obviously sort of holding point for this. And as I have been in many of these meditations, what I really realized today was, yeah, just my huge thankfulness for the signs sort of circling with me and us, and that every sort of meditation we have, the signs that sort of bring in their own flavors through us, um, is sort of sharpening a bit like sharpening my life, my knife, my direction. Obviously, it has my flavor, but it's so much more sort of them exactly telling me, giving. So it's really like moving with them. It's so interesting. It's there is a truth in me that is sort of unwavering, and yet with a new moon in a certain sign, full moon in a certain sign, something gives a push or a pull in sort of where I am heading. And that I just felt so deeply today, and I'm so thankful for, because sometimes it's pushing me a bit more forward, and sometimes it's just sort of slowing me down, or adding something to the mix. And sort of long story, I'm sorry for that, but I feel like just a deep, deep trust and understanding of what it means to live as a sovereign being, soul, whatever, but we are circling with each other and being really led by signs, by tides, by winds, by energies that sort of are moving, and we cannot deny that. And it's not taking anything away from us as sort of an entity as I, and yet there is zero chance to do anything against it. So yeah, really beautiful. That sort of just landed deeply, deeply, deeply for me today. How much we are sort of moved, directed, and sort of like taken care of by something. And yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Thank you for giving those words, for those experiences. Amazing. Yeah, I have the same experience, that we are so tied with everything around us, that we're like the teachings say, that we are inseparable from the world around us. And I was even, my mascara is running because I was crying already, out of gratitude and out of how deeply it touches me, what you two were already sharing, and how this co-creation, I call it co-creation because we are forming a group form in group field, and how it is also influencing me, that I can just surrender to it and lean on to it, and I don't have to, try to figure it out, but rather just tune into it. And so that's the magic. Yeah, just surrender and tune into. So it's so beautiful. Thank you, Sarah. There's a share in the comment or in the chat. Thank you very much. Not able to talk now. This was very grounding and deeply releasing. I got clarification for something. And I totally agree with Sarah and Jean. Feel it deeply to how we are connected and tied to it all. And thank you for guiding us, Raisa, and everyone for joining. Thank you. Another share that was really deep and relaxing, mostly beyond images and words. I guess that was very typical Pisces kind of energy. Thank you so much. I feel this kind of deep relaxation is what my body needs for healing. Amazing. Thank you. Also was much more powerful than just meditating on them. Yes, definitely. There is power in the group. Yes, I'll share the mantras. So the mantra, I'll also share them in the replay, in the letter, that's when I send out the replay. But the mantra for the father aspect, or the cosmic spirit, is I am nothing. I am nothing. And the mother aspect, the matter aspect, is I arise as everything. And when they are fused, which is funny because that has been the quote on my businesses Facebook banner. For some reason, that wanted to be that quote there, and I know that I'm heading that way. But the quote is that I am the love between. I am the love before, between, and birthed through everything and nothing. And so, making that a reality through my own personal work and through the work that I offer and the work that we do together as equals also. So I really, really also personally thank you for joining me, making it a possibility for me also to access that, because I can't do it alone. I wish you a beautiful new moon, and for some reason I want to share that I will be seeding the light supernal into the land this new moon. I'll see you next time. I'll also add the date for the next full moon meditation in the letter that I'll be sending out. So save the date, and I'll see you next time.